How to deal with health issues. Um, I'm not talking like big things because I don't know about that, but at least like minor health issues. So I had to go through some of them in my life and still have to, like, for example, being tired all the time or having digestion, skin problems. Or I also had a period in my life where I still have it, like ear ringing and hyperacusia. And so it's all alright actually. What I learned from it, so several things. First, it's like when you have health issues, so I found that I feel the best when I actually can put it in perspective and when I see that it could get even worse than it is. And that if I push myself, I can actually have the life I want, even if I have all those shitty things. So I tended to complain about and still a little bit do about like everything that doesn't work well in my life. But when you think about it, we like in Europe or in rich countries really have no fucking excuse, because even if we have like things that stop us from like doing stuff, if you put it in perspective and see how it could be, like when you read stories about people first who are like super ill, or people who live in third world countries, then we have absolutely no excuse. And I found that by putting my health issues in perspective, I was actually grateful to not be in a wheelchair, or to not have like worse digestion problems or worse ear ringing. So that was the funny thing when I got ear ringing, because I went out without caring too much about my ears. For like a few weeks or a month, I thought that it could get like really bad. And so it was alright, but the worst was the fear that it would get so bad that I wouldn't be able to have a normal life again. So I was watching or reading stories about people who could not go out of their house anymore, and who had to put like stuff on their ears when they were washing the dishes or stuff like that. And I was like, shit, man, if that happens to me, it was like not an easy time. But when I actually found out that it didn't get worse, and that I was the one kind of managing my health, and that I had control over it, subjective control over the ear ringing, then I finally, I think I learned something from it. I learned that I'm grateful that it didn't like get worse than that, because right now it has no impact, almost no impact on how I live. So it's great. So yeah, there's that. There's also the fact that you can be grateful about it when you put it in perspective. Um, the thing is also, when you've got like bad days where things are harder because you're tired, or because you've got, I don't know, all sorts of problems coming up, the thing you can tell yourself is that if you make it through that day still being happy, still being able to be happy, or still being able to do the stuff that you wanted to do, then during the days where you won't have these problems, it's gonna be a piece of cake. It's gonna be super easy. So you can kind of see yourself like a warrior. And sometimes when I don't feel good, I try to um, see myself like someone who's brave and who's going through stuff. And when it's gonna be over, it's gonna be so fucking easy. And this helps. I mean, if everything was easy in life, it wouldn't even be that exciting. So sure, when you have health problems that bother you, you're like, why the fuck do I have that? It doesn't help me at all. If I didn't have that, I could do this and this and that. So that's true. But you don't have the choice anyways. You're not the one choosing. So what you can do is either like accept them or change them. So having health problems can also push you to care more about your body and your mind and learn about what is actually truly healthy, which most people don't even know in our society, because we think that eating salad once a week is healthy or something like that, or that resting on weekends is just a healthy thing to do. I don't know, but I know that, like, I mean, my health pushed me to learn a lot more about the human body, how it works, and also made me probably more. It also made me more resistant, I'd say, to pain and to fear and to stress, which is awesome because who knows what will happen. And I think that it's actually a blessing when you have to go through stuff, because I think it can get a lot worse. And for example, I read a testimony from a guy who got lead, heavy metals intoxication. And so what happened is that he was completely normal, having a normal life, and within a matter of weeks he got depression, and his body just shut down and stopped working normally. He couldn't digest anymore, he couldn't sleep anymore, he had anxiety, panic attacks all the time, and he didn't know why. Because when you have that today, mainstream like medicine will maybe give you like medication or stuff like that, but that doesn't work all the time. If you're really ill, then you're fucked. And so that guy went on a journey of like exploration of, like, I mean, just like how he could survive. And I put the link below. His name is Josh Mason, and this story just like shifted how I view things, because so now he's got a YouTube channel and he can talk about that and help people. And so first off, it put my own like health issues in perspective. I'm super happy that I don't have to go through that. And at the same time, I see that now like he has risen, I don't know, from it, and he can help people. And he's like, when you watch his videos, he's got such a powerful presence, and he's got balls, and he's got this aura because he went through stuff. He's like a fucking warrior. I mean, I admire him because what he had to go through, when you read his testimony, it's fucking insane. It's like being in a concentration camp during Nazi war. It's almost like you have the feeling that he went through that, like, in terms of pain in his body. So it's a little bit like it's mixing up in my head, but basically it's like you can be grateful because it's like it's not worse than it is. You can also be grateful because it makes you a better human. It makes you understand your body better, like really it pushes you to try to be healthier and respect more your body. It helps you also to become stronger, and I think to like overcome challenges easier when life gets easier. And that's when you don't have a script. It's like it's all mixed up. Yeah, I think that's it.